Have you ever heard about? In Indonesia, there's an unwritten rule parents teach their children, even before they can read. When the sun goes down, you should immediately go inside the house. Not because it's dark, but because in the stillness of the night, something is watching you. You might hear a terrifying sound in the trees. It's coming from a creature that likes to cry at night. It's said that if its cry is loud, it means it's far away. But if the sound is soft but feels close to your ear, it actually means it's no longer in the trees. It's near you. It cries like a woman, but not a human. She is a creature waiting for revenge. She likes to appear suddenly when you are alone. Many believe that if you hear her voice, then she is already in your house. Try to check your bedroom doors and windows. Are they locked tightly? Or maybe under your bed? One thing is for sure, when you hear her in the middle of the night, don't try to look outside. Maybe she is there. This isn't the Japanese ghost Sadako, who crawls out of wells or TV screens. This creature prefers to perch on a large tree, waiting for people to pass by. She doesn't walk, she doesn't run. She just waits. She's far more terrifying, because with just the sound of her cries, she can captivate you, making you curious, and before you know it, you'll approach her, and then it's too late. This is Kuntilanak, a vengeful spirit born of tragedy. For generations, she has been the reason why millions of Indonesians remain indoors after sunset. Tonight, we will uncover the truth behind this legend. The Kuntilanak likes to appear at night, but not in cemeteries. She likes to return to places that remind her of her past, often near large, shady trees, empty houses, or old abandoned buildings. Initially, she emits the sweet scent of frangipani or jasmine flowers, but this gradually changes to the pungent stench of blood or rotting corpses. She will come to you as if to show you the suffering and injustice she experienced in the past. If you hear a dog suddenly barking for no reason at night, it's a sign of the presence of a Kuntilanak nearby. There are several versions of the story about Kuntilanak circulating in society. But this is one story that has a strong cultural history that is often told for generations. In a village, a woman walked alone at night. She is Kunti, a beautiful young virgin. Suddenly, several men harassed her. She remained calm as she continued walking. They began to act rudely and disrespectfully. Kunti became enraged and tried to run away, but she was unable to resist. She was taken to an old, empty building. Her screams seemed meaningless. That night, a large old tree bore silent witness to the loss of her dignity and future. The raindrops fell, as if crying with her. Although she survived the tragic incident, she had to face the consequences. Kunti was eventually banished by the villagers, accused of committing adultery, pregnancy before marriage, a crime strictly prohibited in Indonesian culture. The villagers actually knew what happened that night, but because the perpetrators were close to the authorities, they chose to remain silent. Those who should have guarded and protected her instead cursed and ostracized her. She lived alone and kept the fetus in her womb, despite the shame. However, when she was about to give birth, she did not survive, and neither did her baby. There was no proper burial. There was no grave marker. She received nothing. That's why since then, her spirit has been wandering around, and the villagers call her Kuntilanak. In Indonesian folklore, the Kuntilanak is believed to be the spirit of a woman who died before giving birth. She is not simply a spirit who has returned to haunt the world, but rather a spirit trapped in what should be a joyous moment, motherhood. She is a manifestation of the trauma of childbirth that resulted in death. According to myth, if a woman dies while pregnant or giving birth, her soul becomes restless and transforms into a ghost. She is often depicted with long, tangled black hair that covers her pale face and wearing a long white dress that hides her legs. Her dress is also stained with blood, suggesting unhealed birth wounds. Visually, her features are similar to the famous Mexican and Latin American horror legend La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, but with a different story of past trauma. In Indonesian myths and beliefs, the Kuntilanak is often thought to be particularly fond of harassing pregnant women and those who have just given birth. Why does she do that? Out of jealousy, remembering that her previous baby didn't survive, she intends to steal the baby from them. Pregnant women who are harassed by the Kuntilanak often hear strange sounds, feel like they're being watched or followed, experience unexplained fear and anxiety, frequently wake up in the middle of the night and have recurring nightmares. They may even feel as if someone is stroking their stomach and then suddenly feel a cool, cold breeze accompanied by a pungent, foul odor. According to local beliefs, pregnant women are advised to carry sharp objects such as scissors, nails, or knives when going outside to ward off these disturbances, but they must return home before sunset. When staying at home, especially for new mothers, these sharp objects are usually stored under the mattress, and doors and windows are usually closed before nightfall. What's wrong with these objects? How can they ward off Kuntilanak disturbances? It's said that sharp objects are the Kuntilanak's weakness. This is because these objects remind her of painful experiences. In the past, she also experienced violence caused by some of them. According to local myth and belief, the Kuntilanak can be defeated, albeit with a difficult method, by driving a large, long, sharp nail into the top of her head. This requires extraordinary courage. It's believed to seal her spirit, preventing her from becoming a wild creature. Some even believe that if this is done, the Kuntilanak will transform back into a fully human form, taking the form of a beautiful young woman. There is only one chance. If it fails, she'll be free forever, harassing people until her revenge is avenged. The folklore of the Kuntilanak symbolizes the injustices experienced by women in the past. In the past, women received little supervision and security. Her acts of terror against men were seen as a critique of the failure of the real-world legal system to protect women and punish perpetrators of sexual violence. Imagine you were a woman living in the past. You were disrespected, denied justice, and mistreated. You bore the consequences alone, carrying, giving birth, and caring for the child without a father. You bore the burden of a sin you never committed. Meanwhile, the perpetrators of these evil deeds roamed free without punishment. don't view the Kuntilanak as a monster, but rather as a woman who has been a victim of injustice and suffering. The anger she displays is a reflection of past trauma stemming from unhealed pain. Today, the Kuntilanak has become a pop culture icon and a digital entertainment commodity. It is considered the queen of the Indonesian horror film industry. The character has even gained global recognition through local video games like Dread Out, which introduced the Kuntilanak mythology to a global audience. Overall, the Kuntilanak folklore has survived to this day, not because people still believe in superstition, but because it functions as a psychological mirror and at the same time as a cultural heritage that connects modern society with traditional values. So, if you are alone on a quiet night and suddenly smell the fragrance of jasmine from your bedroom, remember, don't make her cry.